One subject that's near to me is that burnout has become a hidden epidemic that affects people in many different fields. I mean, most of us can relate to being tired, but maybe we didn't know we had it. But I fear it's a major issue facing society, and it's about time that we talked about it and take steps to take care of ourselves and all those around us. So really, what is burnout? Burnout is a state of being physically and emotionally tired all the time. It can have serious effects on a person's mental health, work, and quality of life. And does this sound familiar to some of you? Now, I'll preface this with my own story of burnout since it's my 1-year anniversary. My symptoms started in March 2022. I was dragging myself out of bed and I was exhausted almost every day. I mean, at the time I wrote it off as age. Age finally catching up with me, or the medication I had just come off. You know, I eased off my gym workouts with my son and spent a little more time relaxing and maybe napping. And by April, I was feeling overwhelmed with normal everyday tasks. And by May, I was starting to skip events because I didn't feel well enough to attend and have lengthy conversations with people. My partner Matt noticed this change and that I was becoming easily frustrated. So he suggested that I should go and see the doctor. Now, you know what? I suspected I was depressed. And who wouldn't be after 2 years of lockdowns and the constant media barrage of deaths, masks, and vaccinations? I mean, I expected to receive a prescription for an antidepressant to get me back on track. But what I received were blood tests, and honestly, within a week, I was back in front of my doctor, who had me answer 9 questions for her. Well, by the time I was done answering, she confirmed I was in fact burned out. I mean, I was shocked and in disbelief. I don't get burned out. But she was firm in her belief and asked if I could take a leave of absence from work for at least 30 days, so 4.5 weeks. And before I knew it, I was off work for June. And one of the first things that I did was read up on burnout. And recent studies have found that more than 1/3 of Canadians are feeling burned out. And it's not getting any better. Even though burnout is not a mental disease, it can be debilitating and last for a long time. And you can also begin to experience chronic mental and physical fatigues that prevent you from working. So what do you do to prevent this from happening? Well, first of all, you need to know how to spot the signs of burnout. I mean, constant tiredness, a lack of drive, cynicism, and a drop in job performance are all signs that we're close to the edge. I mean, once the problem's known, self-care is the next most important step. I mean, we need to put our mental and physical health first and make sure we do things that give us energy and make us happy. This can include things like practicing mindfulness and meditation, doing things you enjoy, or spending valuable time with the people you care about. I mean, setting limits is another important thing to do to avoid burnout. By setting clear boundaries between work and personal life, I mean, we can stop our work responsibilities from encroaching on our precious time, can't we? I mean, we need time to relax and recharge. I mean, learning to say no when our plates are already so full is not a sign of weakness. It's a way to protect ourselves. You know what? Employers are also very important when it comes to dealing with stress. Organizations need to create a culture that supports employees' mental health. It welcomes this open communication and two-way dialogue and values a good balance between work and life. Workplace burnout can be prevented by making flexible work arrangements, encouraging frequent breaks, and giving people access to counseling and wellness programs. Now, lastly, society needs to realize how serious stress is and make it less embarrassing to talk about mental health. By creating a place where people feel understood and cared for, I mean, we can encourage people to ask for help and support when they need it instead of just suffering alone in silence. You know, There's been a lot of challenges over the past few years, and Canadians have taken it on the chin and survived. But you know what? Burnout's a big problem, and we need to get away from this stigma that we always have to be strong and work through it. I mean, the Canadian healthcare system is still broken, and it's time for those with power, like our leaders at all levels, to choose the path that we haven't taken yet. Canadians are ready for a healthcare system that is truly linked, coordinated, and works together.